Hey, it's Claudia with We're Just Two Sisters, and I wanted to take you through a fun adventure through Les Journaux de Moulin Rouge, which is the journal about Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge has forever been one of my very favorite things. I love the history, I love the nostalgia, the burlesque. I've seen the movie, I've been to the live play, and it's just one of my very favorite things. So this journal has a lot of special meaning to me, and I have definitely put my heart into it. So wanted to show you the quick walkthrough of it. It is a hardcover book that measures 7.5 inches by 5 inches. It has a really nice size spine with a lot of really beautiful embellishments, and it's finished with the corners here, the really beautiful book corners that are kind of that rustic, kind of coppery metal, and has a lot of great lace on the edges. The back is also finished with a Moulin Rouge theme, also has the two corners there. It's held together with this beautiful crimson ribbon, silk ribbon, that I think really shows off, the beauty of the journal and the femininity that it is meant to portray. So let's go inside and check it out. The ribbon simply unties, and it is detachable. So you don't have to use that ribbon if you choose not to. Let's look at the back a little bit better without the ribbon on it. And you can see the two illustrations there that are sewn on. The spine again is covered with some really beautiful lace, as well as this embellishment here, which is embroidered with beads. I've left this relatively plain on the front and back without pockets that have little inserts because, quite frankly, I just didn't want to take away from how pretty I thought the cover was with the Moulin Rouge posters. And again, as you can see, these are stitched on. This is also stitched around the edge. And it's just extremely well made and very sturdy. Let's go inside. So I'll start off here with the inside cover. The inside cover has this beautiful pocket here with 3 inserts, a ticket to the Métropole de Paris Cabaret. And then it has this little card with the bustier journaling space on the back, and yet another card with the burlesque attire. Those just slip right down into that pocket. All of the insertions here can be removed if you'd like to. They can be moved around, and there's plenty of room to add your own. I've used this really pretty vellum here on the inside cover just because I really liked how it overlays on the pink. As I said before, there is a lot of lace in this journal. I would say at least 15 to 20 of the pages have lace trim on the edges of the page, and it's all sewn in, adds for a little bit of a different element and a little bit more texture. This journal is filled with all kinds of paper. There's cardstock, there's craft paper, there's plain paper, lots of room for your own journaling, for you to create your own pieces in this journal, and also for writing space. This is a really pretty page with the map and the drawing there of the Eiffel Tower. Really pretty green lace here. Another map with a side pocket. This side pocket actually has a couple of little things. It has this Moulin Rouge card. It has another Moulin Rouge poster card. And then it also has this letter, My Dear Father. September 26, 1894. And that just slides into the little corner pocket there, which is embossed and also has some really pretty ribbon sewn onto it. Here's a side pocket on this side, this beautiful vine that was printed on the paper. And then I added these little cloth roses. This side pocket has a pull-out, yet another letter. And like I said, these letters can be moved around, and you can also add your own sweet little love letters or memorabilia or tickets or whatever you'd like to these little hidden pockets. Next page here is a really pretty coffee dyed. There's some little pages too, and those are always fun to add some little element of art there. This is a really beautiful calligraphy page, which is coffee dyed. This is actually coffee dyed using a screen and some turmeric, which makes that pretty yellow color. These are inserts from an old vintage book about French wines. This one happens to be Bordeaux Reds. This is also sewn at the top here. Makes it kind of cool. Coffee dyed, tea dyed papers that just give that beautiful texture, as well as an element of art there. Pages from an atlas. Lots, as I said, of blank pages for journaling, for writing, for doing all kinds of different art that you'd like to do. This is a pretty page with a pocket down here at the bottom. The pocket contains a Moulin Rouge card. It also contains a ticket to the Moulin Rouge. And this is actually sewn on here, the Moulin Rouge poster. I think we saw a smaller version of that on one of the little tags. Very common, popular Moulin Rouge reprint. This is a pretty page that's been sewn all the way around. Another really beautiful lace trim. This is a side pocket and a top pocket. This is the Absinthe Fairy. Here is an actual photograph of the ladies that dance at the Moulin Rouge. Journaling space on the back. This is the Theater Moulin Rouge. And here again is the green fairy, the Absinthe Fairy. I love that fairy. Never tried absinthe though. I have some, but I've just never been adventurous with it. I guess there's a whole little ritual to tasting absinthe with a sugar cube, and they actually have these really cool little bottles that you use to partake of the absinthe. This is a famous painting, another poster, Moulin Rouge, cabaret dancing, and the Grand Ball des Moulin Rouge. I've not been there. I would really like to go to Paris and stand at the Red Windmill. This was a fun page. I just added some really cool stockings that I found in a magazine, and then I embellished them, each one with its own really distinct little piece of lace. On the opposite side, there's this beautiful vellum pocket, and inside is this thank you card, which is blank, very vintage. And that just slides right down in here. This also has it's a little small page, so it has an envelope on this side as well that you can slide something into. Really pretty paper there. Again, lots of blank pages, more of that Beaujolais wine from that vintage wine catalog. This is a beautiful page, Paris. Here is a drawing of the Moulin Rouge and the French Eiffel Tower. I just found that in a box of little doodads that I had, and I was like, that would be perfect on there. Beautiful embossed stationery. Again, the lovely designs of the coffee and tea dyed papers. Some really nice black lace on this one. Again, the calligraphy page. This is a really cool piece. So this little guy here comes off. It is a little clasp. And when you remove the clasp, then you can pull this out. This is a completely removable piece. It's a coffee dyed envelope that I have decorated with a lot of different elements. The Moulin Rouge, a lot of torn calligraphy pages. Here's a little poster. This little tab here that says Tea Angels. All you need is love. And if you've seen the musical, you know that the songs in it are absolutely wonderful. I was prepared not to like the Moulin Rouge musical, the Broadway musical, because I love the Ewan McGregor and musical so much. And I love the music in it. And Nicole Kidman is wonderful. But I will tell you, we went and saw the musical, the live Broadway play down in Orange County, California, and it blew us away. They don't use all the same songs, but they were beautiful and wonderful, and we were mesmerized the entire time. The only thing that I did not like about it is that it was over too soon. Not that it was short, it just, I wasn't ready for it to be over. It was great. So this is a little envelope that I made, very French in style, and it just slides right back into this little envelope, and you can keep that on the outside, but you wouldn't be able to close it. So if you close the envelope and slip it in, then you can go ahead and wrap the string around the little tie dealies there, and it makes a nice little wrap. And then this just goes right back on the page, and you can put it wherever you want. It doesn't have to be on this page. And then the little clasp just holds it in place. Oops, I did that on 2 pages there. Here's another really beautiful embossed using screens and coffee dyed paper. And again, it's kind of hard to see this on the video, but the texture here is just really wonderful. I hope you enjoy these walkthroughs. I know I do, and I always find myself going, oh, well, that's really pretty. And then I remind myself, oh, well, you made that. So I guess I'm complimenting myself on some of them. This one I thought came out really pretty. It's just a collage of stamps on a background, and it has some really nice material here with some silk, a little heart that I cut out of foil and then decorated with some ribbon, and it just came out really pretty. I hope you can really see how that shimmers and shines. I really liked it. And then some more vellum. That's the end of the first signature. Just to show you here, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here for a minute. This actually has, if you can see, 3 signatures, 1, 2, and 3. And they're very hefty signatures. So signature 2, again, lots of blank pages for you to enjoy and decorate and embellish and write on and draw on. I really hope when people purchase these journals that they really do write in them. I mean, that's what it's for. And I'd love to see where they live. I've had a couple of customers that have actually sent me pictures of their writings in their journal, things that they've done inside their journals, and I just so much enjoy and appreciate that. So this has a vellum pocket with a Moulin Rouge can. This is an actual picture of, I can never say this correctly, Toulouse-Lautrec, who was a very famous artist who drew most or painted most of the artwork for the Moulin Rouge. And of course, this is a very famous saying from the play and the musical. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. I actually have that on one of my walls in my house. And here's a cool page from an old 1890 LA Times. I loved this French pocket here. It has one of my homemade buttons and some really nice lettering here, handwriting. This is all stitched in a variation of different stitches. And in this pocket, there is a little folder with the Can Can Girl on the front. You open it up, it has a slit pocket. It has 3 little cards in it that are different depictions of paintings and drawings, sketches from the Moulin Rouge. And it has this little tablet that has quite a few pages of paper. And that just slides right down into this fairly heavy pocket. That way it holds it nice and tight. And like I said, these books are very well made. So they're meant to be handled. They're meant to be written in. And you don't really have to worry about them coming apart. They're sewn in signatures as well as glued in. So they're meant to last for a very long time. This is a really pretty page. I added this little red envelope. Again, all you need is love with the Moulin Rouge. The inside of this envelope contains this little card with the burlesque dancer. It's blank on the inside, so you can use that to decorate or to write something, whatever you might choose. When you close this, it has the pretty windmill there. And then this is a side pocket. This pulls out, and it's actually an old vintage postcard in French. And this goes sideways, so it kind of creates a really nice element here of something coming off at an angle. Again, more blank pages. I apologize that this one takes a little bit longer, but it's a fairly large piece, so I'll get through it as quickly as possible. Here's a page with just a very vintage burlesque dancer, and I love this paper here. It's some very vintage stationery. Here I've created a snippet of a lot of different textures and elements of cloth and ribbon and sewing and paper that is then glued onto the page, making a really nice edge there that also you can see hangs over the edge to show off some of that really pretty lace. Here's a really fun page. It's a burlesque dancer. The side pocket here has the elephant. I don't know if you recall the elephant from the Moulin Rouge. This little piece here is a little tablet. You just take the string off. And then on the inside, it has a pullout with a postcard and a really cool picture here with the old vintage map. And then on this side, it has a pocket and a corner pocket. The one pocket has a fold-out little piece there, which I thought was an interesting piece. It also has this fold-out, which is a fun little poem about December. And that goes in this pocket. So this just folds up, and you can tie it with the ribbon, or you can use, something else if you choose. I think I can get that back on there quickly. Otherwise, I will do it later. Let's see. Start here. Put that in there. Just slide that down. And this just goes into the elephant pocket. Again, lots of different colors, a lot of different patterns. Here's, again, some really pretty stationery, and I've stitched this pink ribbon on there. I have also done some what I call sloppy sewing on purpose, and I'll show you a couple of examples of that. Usually I just go with some stitches, or I loosen or tighten the tension to make them look a little more vintage. This is a really pretty belly band, the Grand Theatre de Moulin Rouge, and it contains this fun little piece. You open it this way, and it has the kind of the vaudeville characters, and then it has this really pretty pouch and the pouch has a postcard in it. And that just slides right in here. I like the trim on this. I thought it gave it a very classic look. Here's an example of some what I call sloppy sewing. And basically all I do is on my sewing machine, I just adjust the tension so that it will be very loose. And I just like the way that looks. It makes it look very vintage and old and cool. So let's go to the third and last signature. The very first page on this one is a really pretty red page with the Moulin Rouge band. You remove this from the band. It's the Vaudeville Extravaganza. And we're in the Moulin Rouge. It's spectacular, spectacular. And this has a writing tablet inside with quite a bit of paper. And it also has a pocket with a card. Really pretty on the back. And it slides into the belly band. Behind it is, of course, the fairly famous black and white photograph of the original Moulin Rouge. This is also a belly band, J.R. Coats, which is a thread company, J&P Coats, I'm sorry. And this has a really pretty little folio that has this beautiful picture. Kind of reminded me of Satine and in the Moulin Rouge and the Moulin Rouge orchestrator. I guess that's what you'd call him. Can. Has a letter, and it also has this cabaret ticket. This is one of my favorite little folios. I don't know why. I just thought that was really pretty. There's a pocket with some really pretty embellishment at the bottom. Has a couple of cards, a tag, and then it also has this fun little envelope made out of vintage sheet music. Inside the little envelope are some little surprises, some little tags and stamps and other little things. Lots of pretty colors. There's a lot of reds and purples and pinks. Again, more of my coffee dyed, stencil dyed paper. Here's this more of that embossed stationery. I love finding old stationery like at thrift stores and antique stores. This pocket has this large tag. It also has a couple of smaller pieces, a Moulin Rouge poster. There are a lot of those. It also has this lovely photograph of a lady who I felt probably could have been a very popular dancer at the Moulin Rouge. Here's a little index card, and in it, there's a side pocket. In the side pocket is an envelope that pulls out. Inside the envelope, there are a couple of hurly-burly extravaganza. Those are some healthy ladies. And this is also made from sheet music and embellished with some washi tape stickers and just some tear outs just to make it interesting and fun. Also has a wax seal, and then of course the Can Girls on the flap there. I like it when the flaps kind of come over the top of the pocket. Just makes it even a little bit more interesting. The paper that you'll find in here is everything from light and vellum to coffee and tea dyed to fairly thick cardstock. So there's a lot of places for you to continue to decorate. Here's a tiny little Moulin Rouge poster that resides in that little theater pocket there. Here is the Moulin Rouge, the musical. Truth, beauty, freedom, and love. And if you have a chance to go see that on Broadway, I highly recommend it. Here's a shrunken little copy of my playbill from the Moulin Rouge. And inside I've put a little tablet. And that can go right down in this pocket. On this side, there's a beautiful dancer and a large tag in French. This is a really pretty page that has a piece of really fine cloth. It's very silky, which makes the pocket. The pocket has an envelope in it made from an old vintage shorthand book that's decorated with the actual ladies behind the scenes at the Moulin Rouge, a button and some lace. It just slides down into this little cloth pocket. And on this page, it also has this lovely illustration there. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of room in this pocket, so you could put quite a few more things. Here's a really pretty pocket made of a piece of cloth. In it, there's a card and a tag. Tag with the dancing girl. And again, some flowers on the back, but plenty of room to journal. Getting close to the end here, here's a pocket with Letouce-Lautrec. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. The Can-Can Girls. A theater ticket. As well as this really cool folio. It has the Moulin Rouge, more of a modern illustration there. And when you open it up, it has a pocket on this side with a tag and a photograph. That's the elephant that I was referring to. And then a tablet with quite a bit of writing paper there. It's a fairly large one. Takes up pretty much the entire page. Lots again of extra space for you to continue your creative process with this journal. And then on the back cover, there's a pocket, a long pocket here with this beautiful rosette that I made just using some material. And it also has this gorgeous picture of the dancing girl and a couple of tags. There's the Moulin Rouge tag and this one that just says Desire. So that is the Moulin Rouge journal. Here is the back again. I'll show you once again the spine and also all of the different pages. So I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough. I apologize again for it being relatively long, but I hope you stayed with it because I think there's a lot to see. Hope you're inspired to make your own journal. And if you'd like to purchase this one, it will be available on the Etsy shop, and that's www.we'rejusttwosisters.etsy.com. And that's We're Just Two Sisters with the number 2. And they don't last long, so if you're interested in purchasing it, I would recommend that you go check it out. And again, if you're inspired to make your own, then that is extremely satisfying to us as well. We do some videos now and then on showing how we do certain techniques and so forth. So check out our YouTube channel and you'll be able to see those. So again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you spending time with We're Just Two Sisters, and I hope you come back soon. Thank you.